Look how pretty that turned out. That turned out so nice. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Tip Tries. Today we're gonna be doing a request from one of my friend's sons, Kyle. He's 9 years old, and ever since I made the apple cobbler, not crumble, in a crock pot, he requested that we make apple butter in a crock pot. And so I'm gonna do that right now. It's like a fuzzy hat. So here are all our ingredients. We're actually going to be using 3 apples that I have left over in the fridge. They need a little bit of a good washing, and we're going to cut off some of those bad parts. I also have 3 apple sauces, and that's what we're going to use instead of going out and buying more apples, because we want to steward exactly what we have. I also have some salt, some cinnamon, and some apple pie spice. You can use cloves if you don't have apple pie spice, and cinnamon. I also am going to use some brown sugar and some white sugar today, as well as some apple cider vinegar, which we don't actually have. So we're going to go get that right after I start all this process, because I still have to go shopping for the day. At the end, we're also going to include some vanilla extract, and we're going to see how that goes. What are we making? Now that we have all of our apples cut up and in the crock pot, now we're going to add our 3 apple sauces. 1/4 of a cup of packed brown sugar, 1/4 of a cup of white sugar, teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of our apple pie spice. Lastly, at least for now, we're going to be doing a little pinch of salt, because we still have to add a few ingredients here in a minute. If you already have apple cider vinegar on hand, that's awesome. Go ahead and use that right now. I'm only doing it later because I don't have it right now. I could use regular vinegar, which is what I have right now, but everything that I've read says don't do it. They say you can, but they say don't do it. So for the sake of time, because this does take a little while, approximately 6 to 8 hours or a little bit longer, I'm just going to go buy apple cider vinegar. This smells so good already. I cannot wait to try this. If you have a timer, you can set this right now to about 6 hours and check on it. You might want to stir it halfway in between if you get a chance. But I'm just gonna leave this on low, and I'm gonna set a timer. We're gonna go to the store, and I'm gonna go and get the apple cider vinegar, and in about 3 or so hours, we're gonna come back and check on this and see how it's doing. This is smelling so good. We're gonna have dinner, and we're gonna come back, and hopefully this will be done so we can blend it up. Dinner's over, and it's time to see what this looks like. Ooh, sounds good. It is so thick and nice. I don't have an immersion blender, so we're gonna be transferring it into this blender, blending it all up and sticking it back in there, and then letting it go for about another 30 or so minutes to let it thicken up. I just added about 1/2 a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract to our apple butter, and I'm gonna leave the top completely off of this for 15 to 30 minutes. I also decided to pass mine through a fine mesh strainer, but that is an optional step. In the name of the Holy Spirit. Last bit. We're not wasting any of it. Jesus wouldn't waste it. We're not wasting it. This is our apple butter. It made a decent amount, actually. Perfectly fit into this mason jar that I had. Look how nice. I don't know if it'll zoom or not. Look how nice that is. We're gonna try this on some bread. Okay guys, so we're gonna try this, and I'm gonna give you my honest review. I've never made apple butter. I added an extra whole teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. I don't want the crust. I feel like a little child whenever I tear apart the crust. I used to eat the crust, kids usually don't. But for this case, I need the whole thing. All right, you guys, your girl was not satisfied with that. I made it way too acidic the very last bit there, and I thought it was kind of too bland, and so I added an extra teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Don't do that. If you have this little, just stick with a teaspoon. So right now, I'm actually gonna be taking this with a little bit more sugar, and I'm gonna be reducing it down to try and get a little bit more sweetness, because it was just too tart. And we did not waste all those hours. We fixed things here. I want to try this just by itself after adding 2 teaspoons of sugar to it. Yeah, that's much sweeter. It's not like an acidic blam in your face. All right, if you like apple butter, then maybe apple butter's not for me. But I tried it. I think I'm more of a peanut butter gal. I'm gonna give it an 8. I give it an 8 because it's sweet. It's a great way to utilize whatever leftover applesauce or apples that you have. It's still good on toast, so I'd give it an 8. And if you like these kind of videos, go ahead and check out my very first video that I ever did with apple cobbler in a crock pot. Thank you, and see you again next time.